Hey, it's MJ Moss. I am in Sponslers Park off Monroe Street in Berwick, Pennsylvania. This is a very handsome little gathering place. Lots of things for the little kids to do, some beautiful old trees, and we've got a sunny afternoon, which is very nice. We haven't had that too much. We're in a residential neighborhood, and I'm here with Josh Nespoli, whom I met relatively, and he's on a park bench, relatively short time ago, and we seem to have some common interests.
Yes, we do.
And the question is, what is your particular role in the Berwick Renaissance that I've been talking about a lot lately?
I love that term, the Berwick Renaissance. From a professional standpoint, I am the community development strategist for Community Strategies Group, which is based out of Bloom, but we do a lot of work here in this neighborhood on LaSalle Street, and we are teaming up with some incredible groups to really focus on downtown Berwick.
Okay. So what's been happening?
What's been happening? Where to begin?
Take me back a couple of years.
Well, in this neighborhood, back in 2005, a group of concerned residents came together and said it's time to do something. This neighborhood is traditionally an Italian immigrant community, very tight-knit, a lot of pride. Some of the most well-known local businesses originated here from some visionary entrepreneurs. But once the ACNF shut down and so many jobs were lost, and as families started to age, the younger generations moved out, and this turned from a very proud family community into absentee landlord community, and crime rose dramatically. And as of 2005, the 300 block of LaSalle Street had the highest crime rate in Columbia County. So this group of residents came together, said it's time to do something. The neighborhood was designated one of Pennsylvania's blueprint communities, which gave us the opportunity to pull some resources together, do a study on how do we build this community back up to some semblance of what it used to be. And over the last 12 years now, the neighborhood has seen over $9 million of new investment into property, the revitalization of this park, 31 homes rehabbed, that 300 block overhauled completely, dropping crime by 25%. It's amazing. And we are now about to embark on the next phase, which is an additional $9 million in new housing projects.
Okay. What happens with the old houses?
Well, unfortunately, the housing stock in this neighborhood is extremely old. The homes that we're looking at are mostly 100 plus years old and have been neglected for so long that as much as we would love to save the character, they're coming down. So we'll be replacing them with innovative homes that really put a focus on energy efficiency and making it easier to not just get a home, but to maintain ownership of that home, make ownership a little more sustainable. So it's the nostalgic in me regrets to see some of the old homes go, but it's really exciting to see the shift that's taking place.
And I can say as a realtor that seeing the kind of homes that are being built and then offered for sale is tremendous, because they are efficient not only in terms of energy consumption, but for maintenance purposes, making it easy for people who may have two people in the family with jobs plus kids to have a life beyond just taking care of a house. And some of the old houses are indeed in dreadful condition, and made it harder for people who did have houses that were kept up to either sell them or keep them up.
Absolutely. The the construction of these old homes is really impressive, and we certainly it's hard to say that we build them like this anymore. But the techniques that we are bringing to our homes, they're really sturdy. They are really clean. The energy bill we expect will be less than 50% of what it would have been in these other homes on an annual basis, which is uh, that's pretty significant.
Right. I think, if I'm not mistaken, at least one of the homes was also handicap accessible.
Yeah. Well, they're all handicap visitable,
Okay.
but we did take one home in particular and made it fully accessible. That includes a wheelchair accessible bathroom. We didn't just when we approached the design of the home, we wanted to talk to families who are likely to have the need for something like that and ask them about ADA. And the response was that ADA is great, but it's not enough. And so we really were intentional in designing the home to go a little further. And the doors are wider. The countertops are lower. Instead of countertops, cabinets underneath the countertops, we put in pantries with shelves that are easily accessible if you're in a wheelchair, and allowing you to get under the countertop with your chair. Big open spaces. It's a really neat home. It was actually the most popular of the four homes, and everyone who came for walkthroughs of the other homes, they'd always ask, "What about that ranch?"
Right,
Yeah.
right, which I understand. I got to tell you, I met Josh 6 months ago or so. The
Yeah.
diversity in business that was being put on by the Bloom Chamber and United Way. And then we met again, well, several other times, but we met again at a sustainability workshop that was being presented by my board of realtors. And we both have interest in and connection to the housing industry in a couple different ways. Josh also works in some other ways, and I know he's about to prepare a workshop on another issue that touches a great many people both in and out of this area. You want to tell us a little about that?
I would. I actually am not sure. Which one are you talking about?
The one you just did posted about with the
in,
women?
in the Lehigh Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is really fascinating to me. In the nonprofit world, I think we're catching on to, we don't always do a great job as an organization of engaging the people who have the most firsthand knowledge of the issues that we are trying to alleviate. And there's a conference coming up in October focused on inclusion by design. And so I had the opportunity to connect with a great organization in the Lehigh Valley focused on human trafficking, which, believe it or not, as close to Berwick as the Lehigh Valley, is a major problem. And what we'll be doing is engaging survivors of human trafficking in a conversation to actually design a model that other organizations can use to engage their constituents, their clients, to get the information they really need to inform better strategic plans. It's a little bit of a new area for me. I don't have a tremendous amount of experience dealing with trauma, but I think that the techniques that we generally use will transition well, and it'll be really exciting to see how this organization's constituents respond and how that changes the way they engage with the organization.
Excellent, excellent. And I expect brilliant work, frankly.
Hopefully.
Your family has long roots here, am I right?
We are, let's see, My grandfather was first generation in Berwick. First generation, his grandfather moved here from Italy in early 1900s. So.
Okay. And one can see the Nespoli name throughout the community. I also have some contact with his brother, who is a realtor for an unnameable organization. He's a real good guy. Tell me a little about NEPA for the cause.
For the cause, really, it got started as a joke. I was involved in a fundraiser in Boston, and I called my brothers up and I said, "We gotta try this in Berwick. If anyone would ever pick this up and run with it, it would be the people of Berwick." And it was a Speedo run. So the idea is, in the dead of winter, run around the block in a Speedo and try to raise a bunch of money. And it was really well received. This was about 9 years ago, and through the course of promoting that run, we started a couple other activities. There were some really neat opportunities that came along. We were approached by the United Way and a gentleman by the name of Tim Hutton, who started a food program, and he was looking for some help to grow it. And so we built up our board. We went from just a few of us to, we now have 12 board members, and Tim's been just a dynamo. What he has done with this food program is amazing, but we were able to drop the cost of one meal from about $2.70 down to, right now, it's about 10 cents a meal.
Wow.
Yeah. So just through building some local relationships and tapping into local resources, and the program, it started with just providing meals to Berwick Elementary students on the weekends, because the teachers and guidance counselors had identified some of their students, the only meals they were getting throughout the day at school, and coming in on Monday hadn't eaten all weekend. So that was about 250 students a week during the school year, and now through the extension of the Feed Them First program, which provides about 800 boxes of food to families every week, and the after-school programming that we provide snacks to any Berwick after-school program that asks for some assistance. We estimate we're distributing about 4,000 meals a week right now.
Wow.
And
I need to talk to Tim too, obviously.
definitely,
Yeah.
This is his program.
Right.
It's his idea. He does the work. We just sort of built some new relationships and
Okay.
made it easier. He helped Nanticoke and Northwest start similar programs. And now we're in the process of opening a teen center.
Yes.
That we're really excited about that one. That should be opening up.
Did
in
you
about a
see
month.
the interview?
I did.
Yeah.
Teresa did a great job.
Yeah.
You asked
That's
good questions.
really cool. That is a really cool place. I'm very excited about that. I can't wait for the grand opening.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
and me both.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have any comments for my non-readership about Berwick, about what one can do with a town that is, it was an industrial town that lost its industry.
Yeah, well, I say this a lot, and I get crazy looks, because I don't think people, a huge portion of our population does not understand and in so many ways, I always say that Berwick built America, saved the world, and revolutionized just about every industry you've ever heard of. And there's actually easy examples to point to show that. And our legacy, depending on where you go for your information, you might think it's tanks, you might think it's football, you might even think that it's crime or drugs. But we built America, saved the world, revolutionized every industry known to man and woman. Our people have not changed. Berwick has changed, but our people haven't. We're still doing amazing things on a worldwide scale. Our legacy is our people. Our greatest export is our people. And as long as our people don't change, we can make this town anything we want it to be.
Excellent. Thank you, Josh. That's perfect.
Great talking to you.